Okay, hello. Good morning. It is pretty cold out there. I got my coffee, and there's a puddle out there that's iced up, like it's ice. So it's still pretty cold. In case you're wondering where I'm talking from, this is the great state of Texas in Houston. So things are going pretty good. Anyway, it seems like my videos are off to a pretty good start. I did have a request for VFR communication, so I'll just go ahead and make a quick video right now to do that. So let's just go ahead and get started on that. Okay, VFR radio communications. The what gets a lot of people hung up on that is formatting of your communications. I know a lot of instructors, they tend to have this tenacity to just kind of throw you in it, and really throwing you in it is kind of the best way for you to learn because you really it's tower communi or well, not tower communications, but uncontrolled field communications are just kind of one of those things where it's really easy to do once you get the hang of it, but learning to do it initially can be kind of tough. And what gets a lot of people is the formatting, because whether you realize or not, a radio call has a format that you then flesh out with whatever the situations are. So the formatting for a basic radio call is basically just like, if I don't know if you've ever taken a journalism class, but it's the same way. It's you got the who, you got where. I'll just go ahead and abbreviate it, and then you got what. So basically, every radio communication you're going to do is going to take care of, is going to fulfill this. It's who you are, where you're at, what you're doing, or what your intentions are. So, like, let's say, for example, all right, and I'll just draw a typical, I'll just kind of get out of the way of the palette here and let this kind of. So, let's say, for example, you are, I'll just draw a ramp, for example, over at a common airfield. Let's just say, all right, here's a building, there's your FBO. Let me see. There's you, and then here's your runway right here. Okay. So then we'll give this runway a number. Let's say it's 17. Okay. So then let's say you're at an uncontrolled airfield and you want to go to runway 17. Well, the first thing you're going to say is, who are you? Well, who you are is your aircraft type and tail number. So I am, 737. I'm 737, Tango Echo Heavy. Um, where are you? Well, I'm over at the FBO. I'm at the ramp. I'm at the fuel station. I'm at the mechanic shop. I'm in the grass off the field. You got to be somewhere. What do you want to do? Well, I want to go to 17 right, or I want to hold short of 17 right and do my run up. So the radio call together would be, um, Oleander Field. This is 737 Tango Echo Heavy at the FBO, ready to move, ready to hold short 17 right, for run up, or ready to take the active. And that's basically what your radio calls are going to be like. As you move in your position, you're there, then you're just going to be, holding short of. So then you can give a position report, kind of like, Oleander Field, this is 737 Heavy, holding short of 17, or taking the active runway 17, and then you just take off from there. So just remember, as you make your calls, it's always going to be who you are, where you are, what you want to do, or what your intentions are. And if you get that formatting down, then it'll make it a little bit easier for you to, make your radio calls not get so overwhelmed with them. Um, when you move to tower communications can be a little bit more intimidating, because not only will you get called out on your mistake a lot easier than if you were at an uncontrolled field. There's a certain phraseology and verbology that you need to stick by, but what you find out is that you tend to prefer controlled field communication over uncontrolled field communication, because after a while it actually turns out to be a whole lot easier. The same rules apply. It's who you are, what you are, or who you are, where you're at, what you want to do, or what your intentions are. But what you're going to find out is that um, the communications are going to be the same every single day. They're going to be literally the same. So what you start winding up doing is it becomes an elaborate play, basically, or like a theater play where you're an actor, the tower control is the actor, everybody's an actor, and everybody's got their pre-assigned roles. And as long as everybody says their lines when they're supposed to, everything's fine and dandy and hunky dory. And then when somebody doesn't say their line or somebody doesn't know what's going on, that's when things kind of go off script and then things start getting a little crazy. But that's the best way to think of it. Think of tower communications as like a scripted play, and you are another player or another character in the script, and you got your predetermined lines of what you need to say. And once you realize that's really how it works, that can take a lot of anxiety off of it. As far as being able to work with your communications. And the one last thing to remember is that nobody's going to be perfect. Sometimes you may not get all your calls correctly, and the controller, yes, even the controller may not get all his calls correctly. But what's important to remember is that if you're doing everything you can and he's doing everything he can, then y'all kind of meet in the middle. Then you can expedite safe flow of operations, which is the whole point of tower communications and communications in general. Anyway, I hope that was a really good I hope that kind of helped you. And if you want, I'll make another lesson where I kind of get more into nitty gritty of it and start drawing out traffic patterns and what calls you should be making where. But that's kind of the mindset you want to set yourself up to as you read into tower communications.